वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तवं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणान् ब्रह्मणस्पद आनशृण्वन् ऊतिभिः सीदसादनम्। ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। नारद उवाच प्रणम्य शिरसा देवं गौरीपुत्रं विनायकं भक्तावासं स्मरेन् नित्यम् आयुः कामार्थसिद्धये। प्रथमं वक्रतुण्डं च एकदन्तं द्वितीयकं तृतीयं कृष्णपिङ्गाक्षं गजवक्त्रं चतुर्थकं लम्बोदरं पञ्चमं च षष्ठं विकटमेव च सप्तमं विघ्नराजं च धूम्रवर्णं तथाष्टमं नवमं भालचन्द्रं च दशमं तु विनायकम् एकादशं गणपतिं द्वादशं तु गजाननम् द्वादशैतानि नामानि त्रिसन्ध्यं यः पठेन्नरः न च विघ्नभयं तस्य सर्वसिद्धिकरं प्रभो। इति नारदपुराणे सङ्कटनाशनगणेशस्तोत्रं सम्पूर्णम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Let's chant Guru Stotram. Om Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। स्थावरं जंगमं व्याप्तं यत्किंचित् सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। चिन्मयं व्यापि यत्सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। सर्वश्रुतिशिरोरत्न विराजितपदाम्बुजः वेदान्ताम्बुजसूर्यो यः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। चैतन्य शाश्वत शान्तः व्योमातीतो निरञ्जनः बिन्दुनादकलातीत तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ज्ञानशक्ति समारूढ़ तत्वमाला विभूषितः भुक्ति मुक्ति प्रदाता च तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। अनेक जन्म संप्राप्त कर्म बंध विदाहिने आत्मज्ञान प्रदानेन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। शोषणं भवसिन्धोश्च ज्ञापनं सारसम्पदः गुरोः पादोदकं सम्यक् तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। न गुरोरधिकं तत्त्वं न गुरोरधिकं तपः तत्त्वज्ञानात् परं नास्ति तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। मन्नाथ श्री जगन्नाथ मद्गुरु श्री जगद्गुरुः मदात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुरादिरनादिश्च गुरुः परमदैवतं गुरोः परतरं नास्ति तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। Let's chant Gita Dhyana Shloka. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvamanusandanami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshini Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullarvindayatapatra Netra Tena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajvalito Jnanamaya Pradipah Prapanna Parijataya Totravetraikapanaye Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gītāmritaduhe Namaha Sarvopanishado Gavaha Dogdha Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gītāmritam Mahat Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Bhishmadrona Tata Jayadrata Jala Gandhara Nilotpala Shalyagrahavati Kripena Vahani Karnena Vela Kula Ashwathama Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryodhana Vartinim Sotirna Khalu Pandavai Rananadi Kaivartaka Keshavaha Parasharya Vachas Sarojamamalam Gītārtha Gandhotkatam Nānākhyānaka Kesaram Harikata Sambodhana Bodhitam Loke Sajjana Shatpatairaharaha Pepiyamanam Muda Bhuyad Bharata Pankajam Kalimala Pradvamshina Shreyase Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangha Padakramo Panishadaihi Gayanti Yan Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam na Vidusura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha. So Kataksha Kirana Chanta Naman Mohabdaye Namaha Anantananda Krishnaya Jaganmangala Murthaye Ahamasmi Sadabhami Kadachinnahamapriyaha Brahmaivahamatassiddham Sachidananda Lakshanam. So this is our goal. Aham Sachidananda Lakshanam. That we'll have to understand very clearly. That alone is called Purushartha. And that is the only thing that is required to be achieved in this lifetime. Chapter 2, Rendav. The only goal for human being, it is called Parama Purushartha, is Moksham. Verse number 11. So that is the only Purushartha. Purushaihi Arthyate. That with Purusha, human being seeks. So it is possible in this Shariram. Be aware of the present. Be aware of the now. And if you want it, you can make it today. That's what my Guruji told me yesterday. Either you have made it. So I'm passing on the news to you. If you want it, you can make it today. We just need a commitment. Commitment to have to pursuit of knowledge, come what may. If you say it in Hindi, दुनिया इधर के उधर जाए हो जाए, हमें आत्म ज्ञान चाहिए. That's what they say. If you commit yourself to self-knowledge, it is said in the Kathopanishad, Atma reveals itself to you. Atma will reveal itself. You will understand so clearly. So that is our Parama Purushartha. Everything else is only preparatory. So let's, with that mindset, start our study today. We are going to start from chapter 2, verse number 11. Slowly we will chant each one. Please repeat with me. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Ashochananvasocastvam Pragyavadanscha bhashase Gatasuna Nanushocanti Panditaha. Once more. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Ashochananvasocastvam Pragyavadanscha bhashase Gatasuna Nanushocanti Panditaha. Verse number 12. Natvevaham jatu nasam Natvam neme janadhipaha Nachaiva na bhavishyamaha Sarve vayamatah param. Once more. Natvevaham jatu nasam Natvam neme janadhipaha Nachaiva na bhavishyamaha Sarve vayamatah param. Verse number 13. Dehinosmin yatha dehe Kaumaram yauvanam jara Tatha dehantara praptihi Dhirastatra namuhyati. Once more. Dehinosmin yatha dehe Kaumaram yauvanam jara Tatha dehantara praptihi Dhirastatra namuhyati. Verse number 14. Matra sparshastu kaunteya Shitoshna sukha dukkhadaha Agama payino nityaha Tan stitikshasva bharata. Once more. Matra sparshastu kaunteya Shitoshna sukha dukkhada Agama payino nityaha Tan stitikshasva bharata. We will see 15 today. The last week we saw. We'll see 15 also. Yam hina vyatayantyete Purusham purusharshabha Samadukha sukham dhiram Somamritvaya kalpate. Yam hina vyatayantyete Purusham purusharshabha Samadukha sukham dhiram Somamritvaya kalpate. So the knowledge of you is being unfolded by Narayana Swayam Krishna, the teacher. The Guru is unfolding the knowledge of yourself. The knowledge of yourself is called immediate knowledge. It is called aparoksham. That is, there is one knowledge is called paroksha jnanam. Okay? That is, you operate sense organs and you know it's called paroksha jnanam. Then they have got pratyaksha jnanam. That is knowledge of things other than yourselves. Pratyaksha jnanam, paroksha jnanam. There are only two categories of things in this creation. One is aham, the other is idam. Everything else is evident to me. So this is evident to me, object of my knowledge. Idam. Evident to me. Aham, idam. These are for things. To say idam to people is difficult. To tell people id is a little difficult. But please understand, it is idam. Something other than aham is idam. So, anything that I objectify, anything that is evident to me is idam. I, the subject matter, is aham. I am aham. Aham. Another name for aham is atma. Another name for idam is anatma. There are just two things. Atma, anatma. Anatma is known by pratyaksha jnanam, paroksha jnanam. How is aham known? Aparoksha jnanam. Okay? You don't need evidence to know that you exist. Dead of the night, phone buzzes and somebody calls you. Are you there? You will not say, I will switch on the light, check and tell you. Or you call your mother and say, no. You say, yes, speaking. That you are is immediately known to you, aparoksham. That you are, there is no doubt at all. That is aparoksham. But what you are is a matter of doubt. Okay? That I am is not in doubt. What I am is in doubt. Because I do not know what or who I am, I have taken myself to be other than what I really am. I have taken myself to be idam. The aham has identified itself with the idam. The nearest idam is my body. I have identified myself with the nearest idam. Having identified myself with the nearest idam, all the problems of the idam have become my problem. All the idam problem have become aham problem. So what is the problem? I am limited. I am this much and no more. I am mortal. Priya problem. I am mortal. I am limited. I am alpagyaha. I know only little. The more I learn, I realize there is much more to learn. Other bodies limit me. I am good in some areas. I find others are good in some other areas. I want to be good in that area as well. And I find it's just not possible. The world limits me. Situations limit me. People limit me. My own body limits me. The things I own limit me. I see myself as a limited, insignificant individual. But what is my real nature? Aham. Aham is Purna Purusha, Ananda Purusha. Therefore, limitation is not acceptable to me. So lifelong, it's a struggle to free myself from this limitation. In my experience, what has happened is, in the presence of certain objects, in the happening or non-happening of certain events, in the presence of some people, in the absence of some people, the mind which is projecting that you're not okay, you're not okay, you're not okay kind of projection, it quietens down. There seems to be a certain resolution. The wanting, nagging mind seems to quieten. So now I come to a conclusion. This situation gives me that. This person gives me that. This thing gives me that. But soon thereafter, I discover that the situation being the same, I can continue to be miserable. The person who was the source of happiness a few moments ago, the next few moments have given me more sorrow than I can imagine. The things that was a source of joy is no longer a source of joy. So my struggle to find that happy equation continues. And anything that happens which is outside my control obviously bothers me because I am not at ease. What I want to be is at ease. Okay, when you are not well, what do they call you? You are diseased. You are no longer at ease. This unease, I would like to call it disease. This unease is not with respect to the body alone. Body gives me only pain or pleasure. The unease goes beyond the body and touches this instrument. The instrument picks up this pain and draws its own conclusion. It says it's not just a pain. This pain is dukkham, undesirable, unpleasant. Dukkham, this unpleasant at this time is not okay. I'm okay at some other time. This should end. So this constant struggle to find myself goes on. And many of us, as human beings, we don't ask this question unless you reach the moment of reckoning in life. At some point of time, you hit that moment of reckoning, knowing that even if I had all the equations on the other side in my favor, I would still be a limited person. Arranging and rearranging the infrastructure is not going to make me the happy person that I want to be. That is called the moment of reckoning. And in the moment of reckoning, you will ask this question. So the Vedas, the various Upanishads, and here the Bhagavad Gita brings us a protagonist who asks you this question. Is, I know I'm not going to be happy even if I have everything in my favor. So tell me, what is there a way out? If so, what is it? In fact, he knows there is a way out because he has seen the standard of fullness. Because if Ananda was not my Swarupam, I would be happy being unhappy. There are so many people who are very happy being unhappy. Okay, so I would never ever protest against his unhappiness. But I know the standard is different. Even when I go to sleep, there is so much cessation of all problems. That's why when you are waking up in the morning, you want to switch off the alarm and go back to sleep. Cessation of problems. So moment of reckoning. And then in the moment of reckoning, you ask the question, the teacher is always there to answer the question. And when you ask this question, the teacher smiles because he knows you have arrived. You have come on track. So here the question was started with the question of mortality. So the teacher answers the question of mortality, that yes, people who are that the anatma, the idam cannot be permanently existent. The idam has to go someday. So the idam you are seeing, the people, Bhishma, Drona, all those people are categorized as anatma, and anatma has to go. There is no choice. Even if God wants, he cannot do anything. He said anatma has to go someday. Anatma has to go. Therefore, over the going of what is goable, and I don't know if it's correct English, okay? The going of something goable, there is no point in grieving. Anyway, it has to go. Someday it will run out of its utility. There is a life cycle for it. At the end of it, it will come. Even your what do you call you? What you buy in the bread has expired. They put in an expiry date. Everything expires. The only thing that doesn't seem to die in recent times is COVID. Other than that, everything is. But that also will have to die sometime. So somebody very beautifully said, either the COVID go or I will go. One of us will go, not two. So then you say, I will go. It doesn't mean I, the being, will go. The body will go. So whatever perishes is anatma. Who is this being who says everything is perishing? So the person who's the being who says everything will perish is different from all that anatma. So then comes the inquiry. When I say this anatma, what in this system is included in the anatma? I find the body. I'm able to objectify the body. I'm able to see the body growing in age. Okay, I'm able to see other bodies at some point of time leaving. So I understand very well that the body has, it's called Shad Vikara. Asti, it occupies space. Jayate, it is born. Vardate, it grows. Viparinamate, it changes and modifies. Apakshiyate, it decays. Vinashyati, dies. This is the Sharira Dharma. And the Sharira Dharma is true of any anatma. Now, I am able to objectify this Shariram. I am the subject. Shariram is the object of my knowledge. Anatma, I am the Atma. I know my Shariram. I know it intimately. I know it so intimately that there is a problem in the Sharira. I say it is my problem. I know it intimately. Shariram. Then comes the Sukshma Shariram, the mind and other organs and the powers. I am able to objectify my mind. I am able to objectify my intellect. This being the fact, even that is anatma. What am I? Okay? Before actually taking to what you are, which comes a little later, the teacher dwells on a being in between. Okay? The ahankara, and addresses that person and says, just as bodies fall, dehina asmin yatha dehe, just as there are changes in the body, okay, just as there are changes in the body from your childhood to youth to old age, please understand that after this costume falls, this being travels. There will be further travel. Okay? Tata deha anta praptihi, this being will travel. So Bhishma is not dying, Bhishma's body falls. But that pranan or whatever, that moves. There is one being, there is something which moves. Dehino yathas, that deha will move. And while you are this living in that body, you have to understand another reality. Body will move. These bodies will be dropped and this will move. The Sukshma Sharira will move. When they are together, there is another reality that you have to be alive to. You have to be alive to the reality. That reality is this system functions through sense organs. Sense organs come in contact with sense objects. The contact of the sense objects with the sense organs produce Shita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha. You will have pairs of opposites reactions. It will happen. There is no escape. The eyes will see color. Ears will hear sound. Nose will catch smells. If it doesn't do, it means it's a problem. You can go to the doctor and say, I'm not able to smell these days. He'll say because of swollen sinuses. So he'll find a reason. Given the situation, the body, sense organ should function. And what is the way to know it is functioning properly? It will pick up Shita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha. It will pick up the pairs of opposites. Shita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha will happen. These things will continue happening. Shita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha will continue happening. So, Matra, Sparsha, O Kaunteya, Shita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkhada, they will give you. There are names like Sukhada, that means one who gives Sukham. Shubhada, one who gives Shubham. So Sukhada, you must add a name, Dukkhada also. The Sukhada will be also Dukkhada also. Okay. What is the nature of this? Agama apai. आता है जाता है. Okay. जीवन का मतलब तो आना और जाना है. Agama apai. Maybe he read this and Santosh Anand wrote that. Okay, so agama apai tans titikshasva. Take them in your stride, accommodate them, not tolerate them. You are not tolerating anything. This is where emotional maturity comes. If you are tolerating, understand I have a lot of growing up to do. It is hiding in the bunker. I am afraid. Maturity is, I know this is how it is. I am not afraid anymore. There is no anxiety. When dukkha comes, anxiety. I will bear anxiety. No, you're not grown up enough. It's a signal I am not grown up enough. Vedanta is still a little far away. You have to do more work. So anxiety is there. I am afraid. Yes, I am afraid you are not. If somebody says I am afraid, my answer to him is you are not afraid. I am afraid you are not ready for the final knowledge. Do some more work. So anxiety, insecurity, fear, sadness, depression, resentment, jealousy, all of them are result of unaccommodated sukha dukkha. When sukha dukkha is not handled properly, they go into the unconscious and remain there. Not just in this janma, it started. So from all that, they continue in my system, cutting grooves. Many of them started and they are now into my hard disk, properly burnt into my hard disk. They are into my system. And when they are in my system, we don't know when it will manifest. It could manifest anytime. Accommodation here doesn't mean saying, it is not like that either. It is not like saying, I shouldn't think about it. It is not like that. How are you supposed to handle pain? How are you supposed to handle resentment? How are you supposed to handle this emotional roller coaster? How are you supposed to handle? You can't change. You can't change the mind. Suppose you say, I am going to change. You add one more pressure to your system. It's not going to work. So tomorrow you're going to be weaker because night sleep is gone. And you are guilty because everybody is perhaps able to do. Krishna has said you can do, but I am not able to do. Krishna later says it's very difficult. Asamshayam mahabaho. Chanchalam hi mana, Krishna says, Arjuna is asamshayam. Without doubt, it is like that. And it will take you away. Even a moment of carelessness, it will take you away. This being the mind, how do I handle the mind? This should be very clear, okay? Unless we are clear, we will not be able to understand the next section. So when the mind behaves in a particular fashion, the first thing we do is accept that this is how my mind functions. Okay, if your mind is after money, don't tell yourself, I shouldn't pursue money. You say, this is how my mind functions. The moment you recognize and accept the fact about the mind's functioning, there is scope for change. As long as you say this, it should not function like this, you have not accepted the reality. I should not function like this. Why shouldn't I function like this? That's how the reaction is going to be. So yes, I understand it functions like this. The moment I say, yes, my mind functions like this, I have accepted a certain fact. In that acceptance, there is space. And in that space, there is scope for change. Okay. If it doesn't change, if it takes time to change, never mind. Acceptance. Acceptance brings in humility. And with acceptance, you bring in something beautiful called a prayer. Okay. At some point of time later, we'll do details of prayers, but let's learn to do some prayers today. We should do those prayers every morning. Okay. That prayer is, first prayer, I accept my mind in the condition that it is now. Just as I've accepted my body color, my body shape, the hair color, absence or presence of hair, everything I've accepted. In the same way, I also accept the mind. This is how my mind functions. Full stop. The moment I say that, there is acceptance. Now I lift my attention in prayer. Prayer is a very beautiful action. It is a karma. It is a will-based, deliberate action. And any action will give you results. There is no doubt about it. Action will give you results. Prayer will give you two types of results. One is drishta phalam, other is adrishta phalam. Adrishta phalam is Ishwara's grace. You will get the right breaks in life. You will meet a good teacher. Okay. Things will be very threatening, but you will get an appropriate break. When everything is lost, looks like it is lost, you will get support. That's Ishwara's grace. Above all, Viveka Vairagyam will work. That is the biggest grace. Okay. And Drishta Phalam is, when I pray right now, immediately I am comfortable. There will be a certain absorption in my mind. Okay. So how do I pray? The individual, small individual, prays to the total being. On the one side, we said everything is Atma. I am there everywhere, that we have seen. I am the total. I am the total functions through the small individual. So the small individual prays to the total Ishvara, the Sarvagyaha, the total controller of everything. Ishvara, one who rules everything. To him is my prayer. I can invoke Ishvara in any form. It is not limited to Krishna or Shiva. I can invoke Ishvara in any form. I can invoke him in a Rudraksha. I can invoke him as Shivalinga. The beauty of our Vedic culture is you can invoke him in a lump of turmeric. That's what we do. No? Asmin bimbe mahaganapatim avahayami. I can invoke him in a lump of turmeric. So this I can invoke him in a tree. I can invoke him in just about anything. Having invoked, I pray. What do I pray? I simply say, I am helpless. This world is too big for me. My will is too small. And all my problems stem from the fact that I am not able to accept the past as it is. My pain, my resentment, my jealousy, my anger, my sadness, depression, all stem from the past. And if they are retained today, it means the past is not acceptable yet. Something in the past continues to bite. It's like a monkey's wound, they say. The monkey's wound will never heal, because it will keep fiddling around. If that monkey stops, some other monkey will fiddle. So you will think you would have resolved. A lot of people are like this. So resolved. He is very happy today, sitting at home. A friend will come. Okay, gone. Okay, gone. One question, and they will ask in a nice tone. Problem all the problems will take Vishwarupam and start immediately. You should be left alone. Like a mice. So if you are not doing it, another monkey will come and do it. Sorry to call the others. Okay. Especially if it's a father-in-law, he will definitely do it. Okay, that seems Mapla's problem starts again. Okay. So what happens is, if I feel sad about something in the past today, it means the past is not yet resolved, not yet accepted. There is something inside me which wants to rewrite the past. I wish I had not done this. I wish I had done. You thought that's why sadness today. Otherwise, why should you be sad? There is. So there is a prayer. What is the first prayer? May I stop trying to change my past. Because if Ishvara came alive and sat with me and I told him, please change my past, he will hug me and cry. He will say, I can't change my past. हम तुम्हारे क्या बदले यार? No. अरे मेरा खुद का हालत खस्ता है, तुम क्या बोलते हो तुम्हारा change करो? How can I change yours? So even Ishvara cannot change my past. Nobody can change my past. So accept my past as it is, without resistance from inside. What has happened, full stop. Nothing can be done. Rather than ask why, ask the question, what next? Can something be changed? Yes. I can change my attitudes. I can change my understanding. I can stop looking at myself as a victim. All of us look at ourselves as a victim. I am the victim. I was so naive, people took me for a ride. Nobody is naive. Ella smart enough. You know what is good for you. You decided to ignore it for some time. As a child, I can understand. If the child says the world is to blame, I can understand. But after you grow up and say, then that means the child is still intact. That's not okay. We have to say that things have happened, full stop. Events have happened, full stop. Unpleasant things have happened, fine. Yes, unpleasant things have happened. Stop being a victim. Stop blame. The more you blame, the more it shows that I am retaining my injury is alive. My injury continues to be alive. And the problem is, all these poem writers and all these fellow contribute to your sorrow. Especially using some of the sorrowful ghazals. Last week at the part, we sang that song, no? Bhule se mohabbat kar baita. Start. Your love failure problem will start. I was 17, this is what happened. Now you are 71, but 17 is still alive. Problems will start. So, my first prayer is, oh Lord, Ishvara, may I be able to accept my past without resistance. May I be able to accept the fact that there is no one to blame, neither they nor me. You are immediately free. You have become objective to handle your entire past. As long as you are blaming, you are in the past. The moment you say, nobody is to blame, you have come out. You are outside now. The script is available in front of you. So next players, let me change. May I have the honesty and the courage to change what I can change. What I can change? I can change my attitudes. I can change my understanding. I can change my attitudes toward things. I can change my attitudes towards people. I can change my attitude towards myself, towards my success, towards my failure, towards my relationships. I can change all these attitudes. All I need is honesty and courage. I need to know that there are some relationships in which I have unnecessarily invested too much of heart and time, and I'm not willing to let go. I must have the courage to let go. Once you let go, free, space is free. Delete the files and empty the recycle bin. So much space is free. Learn to let go. So this is a prayer. May I be able to change. May I be able to accept things that I cannot change. Accept matalla. May I have the serenity to accept things which I cannot change. Let's say the body has a certain disability. There is a certain disease. It is body is dharma. I am not affected. The body is affected. I am free. It takes serenity. It takes serenity from inside to say that. So you have the serenity to accept things that cannot be changed. Now comes the punchline of the prayer. He says, oh Lord, may I have the wisdom to know what I can change and what I cannot change. Let me not waste time, energy, and heart in trying to change things that cannot be changed. And let me miss out on changing things which I can change. Matra sparshastu kaunteya shito. This is what's the essence of matra sparshastu. Okay. This pain has come because I did this. Yeah, you did this. The mind says, but don't go into a victimhood. It happened. Okay. You can add. You can add. You can even say you have a lot of emotions in your system. You can add. I am very grateful for all this pain because I have come closer to you. I'm grateful for all this pain because the right people have come into my life. I am grateful because I got satsanga. I did not paint myself into a corner. We could have painted ourselves into a corner and gone for funny decisions. There was some balance that worked. Something worked. I knew I had taken a wrong direction. Now there's a time to change course. Things are working. So I can say, I'm so grateful for all this pain. I don't say, don't give me more pain. That's unnecessary. That is good for poetry. Dukh dete raho, all that is not necessary. Well, sadism. We are still old pain is not healed. So he says he wants more pain. Replace the old pain with a new pain. It's a problem thinking. I simply say I'm happy. I am grateful. I don't say I'm happy for the pain. I'm grateful that this pain made me think differently. Made me ask, give me the moment of reckoning in human life. Okay, there are three things very important. Manushyatvam, which all of us have. Second is mumukshutvam. Mumukshutvam is the moment of reckoning. If you have the moment of reckoning, Mahapurusha Samshraya has to happen. There is no choice. The problem is moment of reckoning has not happened to a vast majority. So looking at another fellow, I need not feel better off that that fellow does not have. That is further problem thinking. That fellow does not have. So you are comparing yourself and look at some kind of spiritual superiority, not necessary. Not. If you have mumukshutvam, understand you are fortunate. So artha, kama, dharma is one side of pursuit. The other, all three prepare you for moksha. Moksha is freedom. Freedom, not achieving or attaining freedom. Freedom is recognizing that you are already free. You are a free being. You have unnecessarily put on a cloak of limitation. You just have to, you don't even have to take the cloak off. You have to understand that this cloak is essential for my functioning. This cloak doesn't limit me. I am free as it is. I am a free being. Being a free being, what is my nature? I am Satyam. Satya has no end. No beginning, no middle, no end. I am Satyam. I am Chaitanyam, aliveness. I am Anantam Anandam, limitless happiness. And if there is Santam, happiness, Sukha, Dukkha, pain, everything belongs to Anatma. That knowledge happens here. It doesn't happen anywhere else. Well, people says, how will I know? You will know. If you don't know that, if you are asking this question, means you don't, it's not happened yet. Yeah, the Guru can certify that you have had it. The Guru is the only person who knows. If at all somebody knows, Guru knows. That's why in the Kabir Das Doha, he says, Guru Gobind do khade, kaake lagu pao, Balihari Guru aapne, Gobind diyo bataye Kabira. Guru knows that you have made it. He does not even have to look at you. Hearing your voice, he knows you made it. By the way you say, Bhole Shankar, Guru knows. Swamiji, hello Swami. That's how I speak to my Swamiji. Hello Swamiji. Now these days I call him Hola Swamiji. Then he says, Kahan se sikha yaar, Spanish. So the voice says, I have made it. The voice sometimes says, Kya hua? Aaj eclipse lag gaya kya? Guru understands. So if the Mahapurusha is in your life, understand you have all your Puriva Janma, Dukkha, Sukham, everything together have brought you to this moment, has put a Guru into your life, who is going to show that you are a Purna Purusha. There is nothing lacking in you. That is what the Guru is going to show. You are not a person who is limited. You are not a person, you are a being. You are not just a being, you are a significant being. You are not just a significant, you are the only significant being. That's going to be the knowledge he is exposing you to. Adhika preparation is necessary. So, matra sparsha, tan titikshasva. Titiksha is shita, ushna, sukha, dukkha, adi, sahishnutvam. The capacity to walk through all this. Walk through. That's why he says, yam hina vyatayantyete purusham purusharshabha. A purusha rishabha, a bull among men, one who is not pushed off the center. What? By this sukha dukkha, yam hina vyatayante se, one who is a dukkha sukha dhiram, who understands this is how the world is. It is not tolerating. Very careful. Let's say, you have to face it. You have to understand that it is there. That's all. You don't have to face anything. Understand it is there. So when you understand it is there, it will automatically, you will learn to face it. I don't want to use the word, you have to face it, you have to tolerate it. Then Hindi, the word is majburi. Majburi means then one character will come, Mahatma Gandhi, or Majburi ka naam Mahatma Gandhi. I don't need all those characters. I am a being, a conscious being, a total conscious being. And it is a fact. Be present here and now. You are a conscious being. You have all this equipment. All this has been given to you. And these things have inbuilt problems. Inbuilt problems. Like I told you, one day I was driving through this OMR. A fellow was going to deliver a Mercedes car to somebody. It was flanked by my car and another car, and we bumped into that car. I moved away. The other fellow, you should have looked at the poor driver. He said, sir, I'm going to deliver the car, sir. Just imagine my condition. What can I do? I said, Ishvara will protect you. I was going to take a Vedanta class. I said, Ishvara will protect you. Maybe he protected him. I don't know. So a bump in a car, a dent in a car can disturb you for life. A dent in a body will do nothing to you if understanding is there. It's understanding. Dent in a car, Mardan, dent in the body. So this is a matter of knowledge, jnanam. Okay, matra sparsh. And yam hina vyatayante. Such a person is a dhira. Okay. He's a dhira, and this dhira is fit for amritatva. What is amritatvam? Not seeing you yourself as a mortal is amritam. It is not that drinking something and become amrita. That's just a metaphor. They have to show it in a scene. Devala amritatva gurtu they become. Devas cannot become amrita. Only you and I can become amrita. Devas are all limited creatures. Devas have got no willpower. Devas, Agni cannot decide to do what he wants. Whoever puts the hand, he will burn. Varuna cannot decide to rain or not rain. He can say, this is Papi Uru, I will not rain. He cannot do anything. Human being alone has this will, free will. So because of this free will, you can use the free will to pray. You have the freedom not to pray. You have the freedom to pray. And when you pray, this past becomes acceptable to you. Why do I point out this place? This is where the past resides. There is no other place it resides here. And you don't know from which Janma, which impression will manifest itself now. Which Janma, anything will come, we don't know. So we pray. I accept the past. I don't resist the past. Even the past is your swarupam. You are played into. And then when I accept the past, I accept the outcome of my past. Yeah, I did wrong, but I shouldn't be punished so much. No, the punishment is okay. So outcome is acceptable. The karanam is okay. The karyam is also okay. The karyam is acceptable. The karanam is also acceptable. That is acceptance. That is titiksha. And when I have titiksha, there is a lot of space. And such a person cannot be shaken. And he is fit for self-knowledge. Having prepared you, the teacher introduces, what is your nature? Okay, let's look at 16. 16 will go for about 3-4 sessions. Okay, it's a terrific verse. Krishna, it's a cryptic verse. It's a very cryptic verse. It is not easy to understand till the Guru tells you how to understand. So day before yesterday, I called my teacher. I spoke to him. He said, I've already told it to you 10 years ago. I said, please tell me once more. So he said, okay, listen. Do you have paper to take notes? I said, yes. He said, take notes if you want to. But for a while, just listen to me. So as often as possible, if you can invoke the Guru and ask. So he taught me this. So let's read. Na sato vidyate bhavaha. Na sato vidyate bhavaha. Na bhavo vidyate satah. Na bhavo vidyate satah. Na bhavo vidyate satah. Whole line. Na sato vidyate bhavaha. Na bhavo vidyate satah. Once more. Na sato vidyate bhavaha. Na bhavo vidyate satah. Okay, third quarter. Ubhayorapi drishtontah. Ubhayorapi drishtontah. Ubhayorapi drishtontah. Last quarter. Tvanayor tattvadarshibhihi. Tvanayor tattvadarshibhihi. Whole line. Ubhayorapi drishtontah. Tvanayor tattvadarshibhihi. Ubhayorapi drishtontah. Tvanayor tattvadarshibhihi. Whole verse. Na sato vidyate bhava. Na bhavo vidyate satah उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तः त्वनयोर्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः. Once more. न सतो विद्यते भाव न भावो विद्यते सतः उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तः त्वनयोर्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः. Now let's do the sandhi vichhedan words. Vidyate na bhava asatah vidyate na bhavaha. The unreal does not have an existence ever. What is unreal cannot exist. Okay, we'll come into the depth of the whole. The unreal cannot exist. The unreal does not have an existence. Okay? Asataha. But Tamil, when we tell somebody, Seriana Asat, they call the other person Asat, means you are an unreal person. You don't have any pragmatic Asat. Means you have no touch with reality, man. What kind of a person are you? So, asataha vidyate na bhava. The unreal does not exist, cannot exist. Okay? Understand, sataha vidyate na abhavaha. The real does not have a non-existence. Okay, careful. Very beautifully constructed. The unreal does not have existence. The real does not have non-existence. The real does not have non-existence. The unreal does not have existence. So let's take a simple example. Okay, I'm going to take a simple example. Okay, this is a cup made of glass. Okay, what is real and what is unreal in this cup? The glass is real, the cup is unreal, because there is nothing called a cup minus the glass. Wherever the cup goes, the glass goes. If the cup breaks, glass remains. So, there are two orders of reality here. One is called the content, the other is the name, form, and function. The name, form, and function called cup never has an independent existence of its own. The moment I say cup, you will have to say, what cup do I pick? Silver cup, plastic cup, mud cup? You have to bring only the content. You go to a jewelry shop, okay, you actually see gold, you weigh gold, you pay for gold, but your transaction is with the name and the form. Minus the form, minus the content, the form has no value. So let's say one of these jewelry shops opened, and they said, Mohanji, you must come and inaugurate our shop. So I went to inaugurate a shop. So that fellow said, out of so many things here, you take one. We will give you free. I said, fine, give me gold. The moment I take gold, all the forms are accommodated in the gold. So my relationship is with gold. So asataha, name and form, never had independent existence of their own. Satvastu, here glass, always existed, will continue to exist even minus the name and form. That is you. This is name and form. Body is a form with a name and a tag. The name and the form minus the content has zero value. Understand? Imagine there is a person. Body is there, handsomest person. But life is not there. What do you say? Tamil? Sattu pochu. That is the word we use. Sattu pochu has become settu pochu. The Sat content is gone. What is there is mortal remains. It never had an existence. It will never have an existence. That Asti has to be destroyed. Where is the Asti? In the mind. That Asti is only in the mind. So the Sat Vastu can never be absent. The Asat Vastu can never be present. A little more we have to see. There are three orders of reality. One order of reality is called Paramarthika Satyam, absolute reality. Okay. We have another reality, total non-existence. Tucham, அந்த மாதிரி ஒண்ணு கிடையவே கிடையாது. Like somebody wrote a poem. He writes a poem. The son of a barren woman, okay, adorned its head with flowers grown in the sky, and went hunting with bow made out of a rabbit's horns. Total tucham, non-existent. Is this like that? No. So it is not tucham, it is not satyam. So let's say I am taking this glass. Okay. Is this glass satyam? Okay. There is something called cup. Is the cup non-existent? No. Is it satyam? No. So it is neither satyam, it is neither non-existent, it has arrogated something in the middle. We call it a name called mithya. What is English for mithya? Mithya. Apparently existent. Vyavaharika satyam. Empirical reality. It has certain utility for you. It has a variety. It has utility, but it does not have independent capacity of its own. Therefore, anatma. What are you? Atma. The anatma cannot make the atma happy. The anatma can be useful for me. Why atma? The anatma cannot make this anatma happy. This anatma can be useful for this anatma. But this anatma does not have the capacity to make this anatma happy. If you understand it, you are happy. All you have to do is to remove the projection that this can give me happiness. This can give me utility, not happiness. So leave the object aside. Let us take a person. I have invested my heart, my time in that person. What happens? Anatma. Name, form. Someday that anatma has to go. Either life will have to go or distance will come. Something will happen. The anatma will no longer be as dear as it was in the past. Anatma comes with threefold dosha. Sukha dukkha mishritatvam. It will come with pain and pleasure mixed. It will come with bandi karam. It will addictive. Third one, atripti karam. It will never be totally satisfied. This is the nature of the anatma. All I have to do is to make a orbit change here. What is the orbit change? Anatma is useful for me. It has got its utility, novelty, variety, but does not have the capacity to give me emotional security. Once I understand it, what happened? I am free from the anatma. I am free from the pressure of being anxious about losing anatma, about anatma not giving me satisfaction, about people not treating me properly. I no longer stand in the street corner begging for attention. Treat me properly, treat me well. I am Atma. I know you can't, you can only, this is your capacity. That's what you can do. You have no capacity to go beyond that. You have carrying your own, you are carrying, just as I am carrying so much of muck, you are carrying maybe even equally or more muck. Who knows? Your muck is, if I'm going to, my muck is going to deal with muck, both are muck. Not going to work. If I am a wise person, my prayer says, free me from my past. When I am free from my past, I have accepted my past. I have accepted your past, your behavior, situations, everything becomes acceptable to me. I am free from here. And Ubhayor api, one who knows the difference between Ubhaya, okay? One who knows the difference, one who sees. Drishta means one who has a vision. Drishta means a vision. They say there are 6 levels of teachers. The first 2 levels of teachers are called Upadhyay, Adhyapak. The 3rd level of teacher is called a Pandit. The 4th level of teacher is called a Drishta. The 5th level is called an Acharya. Or you can even put him 3rd level. Adhyapak, Upadhyay, Acharya, Pandit, Drishta. Then 6th is Guru. So Adhyapak, Upadhyay, book, they will tell you, this is what it says, this is what it says, this is what it says. You ask him, he'll say, I don't know. This is what's written in the book. The Acharya fellow will say, come out here, let's go and play, man. Forget all this theory work. Acharya. The Pandit will say, I have done some research. I can share you my research, man. The Drishta will give you insight. The Guru will show you that you are Atma. So he says Drishta. The Guru here is seen as a Drishta here. Drishta Antaha, one who sees the Antaha. Okay, Anta here means one who sees that Veda Antaha, one who sees the truth behind the Vedas. One who sees the Antaha. Okay, that Drishta, one who sees the difference. Okay, to Drishtaha, who indeed sees that visionary, that Drishta, one who has that insight. Ubhaya api anayoho, between these two. Okay, such a person are called Tattva Darshibihi. They are the seers of reality. The seer of reality is not elsewhere. You and I can be the seer of reality. We just have to absorb this. This has to percolate into our system. Simple. What I encounter in the world is the world of Anatma. All the things of Anatma are put together. Anything put together does not have an independent existence of its own, because there is a basic Karanam. What I see is Karyam. The Karyam has a name, a form, and a function. And it is to put together with certain intelligence. But somebody said, let me try to put together something. Put together, so I'm going to make a car. So what do you do? He got some steel, he got some rubber, he got some glass, he needs some plastic parts, and he poured some petrol and lit it. What will happen? It's not a car, it will go up in flames. It has to put together to serve a certain function. There is a car. The car stands, it doesn't move at all. You don't call it a car anymore. You don't call it. It is a toad. It does, unless it meets the function. So there is a name, there is a form, there is a function. The name, form, and function are called Mithya. And Mithya has 3-4 limitations. It does not have an independent existence. It cannot have an independent existence. And if I am comfortable with this reality, I am immediately free from anxiety, sadness, expectations, false investment, and dropping all that is going to be very, very, a very nice in the Tamil word used, Jujjubi, they say. They'll just drop off. You don't have to drop them, they just drop off. So this is the verse he's leading to. And he says, who is this Sattvastu? You are that Sattvastu. That Sattvastu is not there. You are that Sattvastu. So far he has said, Gatasu, bodies will go. These kind of events will happen. Okay? Bodies will be dropped. The indweller will keep moving. Please understand, all of them are Anatma. You are the subject who knows all this. You are Atma. Everything is an Atma. What is the nature of an Atma? Sattvastu. That Sattvastu There was no time when the Satvastu was absent. If they say Satvastu is absent, it is Asatvastu. Only the Satvastu can fit the terminology Vastu, Michala Avastu. They are not Vastu. Satvastu alone exists. The Asatvastu cannot exist. And one who knows the difference between the Satvastu and Asatvastu, one who knows the difference between Satyam and Mithya, he is called a Tattvadarshi. And one who knows the reality, one who knows what is absolute reality, one who knows what is Vyavahara reality, even if you don't know what is absolute reality, if you know what is Vyavahara reality, you are a sensible person. Your daily transaction will not give problems to you, will not give problems to others as well. So at this point, he leads you. We will see further. He will see the nature of your Atma. Your Atma, your nature. What is your Atma? You are objectifying your Atma. You are the Atma, not your Atma. You are the Atma. You always was the Atma. You will be the Atma. You just have to recognize yourself as you are. So far, we have been identifying ourselves with what we are not. I identify with the body, suffer. I identify with my things, suffer. They are all anatma. They are all mithya. They are useful for me. I run my transaction through this, all this. Nothing is unimportant. I don't reject them. They're all useful. If I didn't have this, we wouldn't be having online class. It's very useful for me. But if I'm going to get emotionally attached, it's going to get a problem. So at this point, we'll take a break today and we will proceed to the next week. So do this prayer every morning. Offer your hands. Ishvara, I surrender to you. May my past be totally acceptable to me. May I not resist, resent, regret, no remorse about the past. I accept the past as it is. I accept the outcome of the past as it is. May I be able to change what I cannot, what I can change. May I have the serenity to accept things which I cannot change. And above all, may I have the wisdom to know the difference. I am grateful for everything in my life right up to this moment. I will continue to be grateful because only because of your grace, I am exposed to this moment of reckoning. If it were not for Ishvara's grace, imagine, I selling some, what do you call, barota outside. What kind of Atma Jnanam I will have? I would have wasted my life. Imagine born in the wrong character's house. Instead of here, if I were born 3 kilometers away in somebody else's house, what kind of... so fortunate, we are blessed. And this knowledge follows us. You have started some in Janma, that's why it's following you. It will follow. Till you are clear that you are Atma, this knowledge will not leave you. Everybody pursues this one. So with this note, we'll take a break till next week. We'll with a prayer to Ishvara. Swasti prajabhya paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahisha gurubbhamnebhya shubhamastu nityam loka samastha sukhino bhavantu kale varshatu parjanyah prithvi sasya shalinim desho yam shobharahitah brahmana santu nirbhaya sarve bhavantu sukhinah sarve santu niramaya sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritangamaya, om purnamada purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate, purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vasishyate, om shanti shanti shanti, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Harihi Om, Sadgurnath Maharaj ki jai ho, Swami Dayananda Maharaj ki jai ho, सब संतों की जय हो, पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय हो, बजरंग बली की जय हो, जय हो, जय हो, जय हो. Yeah, anybody wants questions answered? We can take a few questions. You have 15 minutes time to answer questions.
Namaskaram, Mohanji.
Yeah.
ஞானம் பத்தி சொன்னீங்க. பிரத்யக்ஷ ஞானம், அபரோக்ஷ ஞானம் அப்படின்லாம்.
ஆமா.
அத மட்டும் கொஞ்சம் இன்னொரு தடவை சொல்ல முடியுமா?
Okay. Then we say, when I use my sense organs, there are two things, aparoksha jnanam, paroksha jnanam. Acha. Aparoksha jnanam is jnanam which is self-evident, is aparoksha jnanam. Okay. Any other jnanam which comes to me by operating a sense organ or some other device, that is called paroksha jnanam, the indirect knowledge. So in indirect knowledge, we have pratyaksha jnanam and you have anumanam, etc. jnanam. Anumanam means inference. So when you say paroksha jnanam, means the knowledge comes to you by operating a means of knowledge. Okay, aparoksha jnanam means it is self-evident to you. There is only one thing that is self-evident, that is that you exist is self-evident. Everything else is paroksha. That I am is self-evident. What I am, somebody has to tell me, and that I am and what I am has to match. That is how we have to look at it. Okay. We'll have some details on this as we go on. When we come to actual Atma, we will definitely see more.
Okay.
There are a lot of there are certain technical terms which we will be using. We'll have to take our time to slowly see that the whole thing percolates into the system. We have to relate to it. Right now, today's relationship, Aham Atma, everything else is evident to me. I am that Atma. Then you wake up, are you aware that you are? Okay, that is aparoksha jnanam. Are you there? Yes, I am. What? With so much confidence. Are you there? Yes, I am. Adha aparoksha.
Okay.
So that I am evident, that is evident to me is called, that I am self-evident is called aparoksha jnanam. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Good luck. We'll meet next week. In due course, we'll start some meditation sessions and things like that. We'll find convenient time for everybody and start.
Uncle, yes. One more question.
Yeah.
So the prayer you told, accept whatever happened in the past as it is. It's not only for this Janma, right? Janma, Janma. So we need to consider that way.
Yes. So, Shanmugapriya says you are accepting the past, including from the past Janma. Please see, when I say past Janma, it means please understand that everything has a cause. There is a Karanam. If the Karanam cannot be traced till the date of my birth, please understand extend the Karanam that it could go further beyond. To say that you can say I was born on this date. The better interpretation would be, this body came into being on such and such a day. It manifested itself in this form on such and that's my understanding. Tomorrow you are attending an interview and somebody says, what's your date of birth? Don't say I manifested myself on such a day. They will never employ you. Okay. So we say, for my understanding, this body manifested itself in this form on such and such a day. I existed 9 months before that. I existed in some other form before that. So that means all those causes have contributed to my cause, to the karyam today. That is my understanding. And I say I'm not trying to change anything. I don't have to go into past life regression. I don't have to try to solve anything. I just accept and change things which I can change. Whatever I cannot change, I continue happily. Titiksha. That's how we look at it. Okay. Good. Om. Jai Ho. May God bless all of you. Yeah, Prakash, we can end.